Tonight on the Bach Boys, we're breaking every rule. We're turning this place upside down. By the end of this, you're not even going to recognize the podcast you're listening to. It all starts right now. Welcome to the Bach Boys. We are boys who love the Bach. I'm Ryan S.
I'm KCS.
I'm Alex F.
And the roster changes yet again, baby. Me and Casey are back from the hunt for Fahim.
How'd it go, boys?
Fruitless still. I mean, we're on to him for sure.
Yeah, I'd say it's fruitful. You know, we didn't get Fahim, but you never really get Fahim.
Was there fruit involved or not? That's why I'm so confused.
There's fruit involved, but the results are inconsequential as of this time. But we could
So there was fruit, but it rotted.
You could say that. There was
bunch of rotten fruit.
A bunch of rotten, stinky, no good fruit.
Which is why, and it's available on one of those rotten fruit websites where they send you rotten fruit.
Rotten tomatoes.
What are we talking about?
that movie rating website?
Yeah. This is a podcast about Rotten Tomatoes where we just read Rotten Tomatoes reviews and recap them. Here's one for a show called The Bachelor in Paradise. Oh, this ought to be good.
Thumbs down. 2 thumbs down.
I personally... Oh,
Angel Has Fallen has a 40%.
better recap that one.
Cut from the same rough cloth as its predecessors, Angel Has Fallen rounds out a mostly forgettable action trilogy in fittingly mediocre fashion.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I like the franchise.
Audience score 94%.
Exactly. That's what I care about. Hey, what does this audience think of that show I talked about earlier, though? What's our percentage of Bachelor in Paradise right now?
I'm exhausted.
It's okay.
I give it 94%.
I like it a lot. I
That
just
sounds
think
like it was a
bad,
40%
but I
approval
love it.
rating.
Yeah,
It evens out.
It's a crazy, batshit insane show, but I really like it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my review.
That's out there, man. Hey, you said it, not me. He said it, not me, Mom. My mom listens. Hi, Mom.
Well, how about in typical Rotten Tomatoes fashion where you just accumulate numbers that really have very little meaning? How about we rank the contestants again?
That's right. We're returning to form. The current form of the Bach Boys is the Bachelor Report Power Ranking System. It's going flawlessly. We're hearing
Even
from
though we've
you.
changed it up.
We changed it up a lot, but it's based exclusively on audience suggestions that we assume on behalf of the audience.
Yeah, they said streamline it and more ads.
And the ads are coming. You for
Just
long-time
you wait.
listeners, for long-time audio listeners, you know the ads are coming. But for now, how did me and Casey were on the hunt for Fahim last week? How did you? It was top 3, bottom 3, and then
Top 5, bottom 5.
Right. So we're gonna skip. It's too much.
We're going to skip Jed for now.
We're
not
skipping
going to
Jed.
talk about him.
I refuse to talk more about Jed, and I never have, never will.
It was never official canon because Ryan Johnson is dead, but we
Which is canon. He wrote it with his
yeah.
dying breath.
But Jake had a few honorable mentions, so I'm saying you get a 1 honorable mention per top and per bottom.
Perfect. So instead, we're streamlining the episode. Well, you guys know. I'm just the one catching up. So we're doing the top 5 and bottom 5. And should we start with number 5 on either end?
So
5 through 3.
okay, when we go 5 through 3, it's for bottom. Number 1 is the worst. Okay, it's not
Right.
5. You know, it's not.
Right.
It's in D.
Okay.
I'm
descending
with you.
I see
order.
that, yeah.
So
That's cool.
5, should we start with the good or the
Descending order,
bad?
Sorry.
Start with the bat.
Bad.
Right?
The problem is I have like literally a bottom 10. I feel like 90%.
Well, we
of-
want to hear your 5.
I want to feel like
Can we
everybody's
get my
doing bad.
honorable mention out of the way?
Yeah, go for it.
Who's your mensch?
Tajwan.
Oof,
Yeah,
oof,
one-hit
oof,
wonder.
oof, oof.
Showed up, had clear mental breakdowns.
Tajwanian devil.
Was made, which were taken advantage of by production, and it was a train wreck, and she's gone.
I'll give it to her for being bold, too. She was like, you're a pigeon. I'm a seagull. Which Haley
She was
Ferguson...
clearly unwell the entire time. And
You're a pigeon. I'm a seagull is so good because it does not elevate her at all above her predecessor.
Haley
know.
pointed that out?
yeah, not very well.
I
After
love
being
calling her a pigeon.
called she was as smart as a doctor, and then she talks about, in a very roundabout way, a good point, but
In
not
a-
very well said.
In a way, this ties us in my fifth from the bottom is Haley.
Really?
Which is tough for me because I'm a diehard. I've been hyped on this JPJ Haley Ferguson link up, the Avengers of romance, and it fell apart, man. There was no spark. Why did she take him on that date? There was never a moment.
So you're punishing her for a bad date?
She wanted
No,
a
I'm punishing
goofy
her.
guy.
I'm sorry. That's not. Now I'm just thinking about like.
Also, have you seen what her twins boyfriend looks like? Who's a famous hockey player?
He kind of looks like a big John Paul Jones.
Yeah, he looks like John Paul Jones.
But
Yeah, they have a type.
Yeah,
they do
Of
have
course.
a type. But that's not why I put her at the bottom. Not because like.
No,
the
I'm
date
curious.
didn't
I'm
go well.
genuinely curious. Why is she at your bottom?
Bro, I mean, she's just getting left in the dust for Tayshia. Like, John Paul Jones isn't even talking about Haley.
no.
Like,
It's because John Paul Jones is out of his mind, which we'll get to later.
we have, John Paul Jones has
We
been a
have words.
consistent number one slot
we
for
can't
us.
go there now.
I
It's
know,
too
but I
much
just want to
unpack.
say, coming up,
Coming up.
it might change.
It might.
Everything could change tonight.
Rules are meant to be broken, especially in paradise. All right.
That's what we've learned this season. And there was no rule breaking officially going on with Haley, but I do feel like she's getting left in the dust for this Derek Tayshia thing. I feel bad. Like, no one's into her, which is crazy because I'm in love with her.
Yeah.
Casey, who's
That's
your
true.
fifth worst?
My fifth worst is interesting. My fifth worst is a combination fifth because they come together as a package deal, and that's Chris and Krystal. That's my fifth worst, and they have to make it into the bottom five because of that weird thing they did where they made half of them go home like it was a group date and not their freaking wedding.
Chris and Krystal
What
have to be an
was
honorable
that?
mensch. That was weird.
That was
It
weird.
was so strange, and they tried to convince us that it was a beautiful moment. It was a terrible moment. Their wedding was a catastrophe for mankind,
I kind
and
of
their
agree.
union
We called it the
is
white trash
poison.
bash.
Their union is poison.
The country singer that was singing while they were walking down the aisle. Whatever was his name?
Matthew
Matthew
Stell or
Michaels.
something. Matthew
Michael
Matthewson.
Steller, Bublé.
It doesn't matter. They showed the name just in classic ABC fashion. You got smarter.
Thank you.
Very
Smart like a doctor.
For all you audio listeners, Alex F's eyes just got a little bit better with the help of glasses.
Glasses.
This episode of the Bach Boys is sponsored by glasses. Wear them, improve your sight,
And you're smart now.
and be smart now.
Congrats, Brad.
Chris and Krystal is an honorable mensch. You can't stick them in there.
They're in there for me. They're in there because they were part of Paradise officially on this season.
I
which they
agree that
just were.
they're in the bottoms, but I think they go with the honorable mensch. I think they should be.
Well, who's
noted.
your number 5?
Connors?
Really? I feel like
I have
everyone's
him down.
into it.
I have him down there too.
Yeah,
I have him
Really?
lower.
I couldn't stand.
Just 'cause
I
you don't
couldn't-
like
yeah,
him?
I couldn't stand
I
the
think
voice.
I think he's fake. I don't, and I also think he's dumb, which is half of the fake. But I think he's fake.
I think
Like,
he's too dumb to be fake.
I think he
personally.
just knows the opportunity he has in front of him to like get with hot girls and like make a lot of money, and he's just like so prepared, and it's like terrifying. He's making all the right moves. He's doing everything he's told to do.
But I don't think Connors right now is any different than when he was like writing post-it notes for Hannah.
I just think he's getting more screen time.
I guess I did like him then, but I like him less now seeing it on like the fourth girl I've seen him do it with. He's the same guy. And Demi's point about him at the end of the episode was amazing. Like her impersonation of him was so good.
Well, we all have a good Connors. Everyone do their Connors impersonation right now, same time. Really just wanna, like, kiss
really
you,
lonely on the
like,
inside, so I talk slowly.
I have an intellect of 4.
Yeah.
That's
He's
pretty
down there
good.
for
It
me.
feels accurate.
So
to
I feel
me.
like since two of us have him ranked in our bottom, he'll stay there. In the bottom, he'll stay.
He's got to be in the bottom.
But everyone's into him.
I don't care. Rules are meant to be broken.
That
I
is
don't
the
think
theme
it's
of the
just if you're
season.
desirable. I think it's also if the Bach Boys want to veto you and hate you even though you're doing well, like that's allowed.
That's not what the power
This is-
ranking system was
This
about.
is a veto. I think he's terrible and I'm done with him.
Well, where do you have him at 5?
Yeah.
I have him in the middle, so fine. I'd put him at 5. But
5.
what about my girl Haley? I mean, unfortunately, I don't think she's doing well.
Why don't we make it a tie between Connors and Haley at 5? I think that's a good.
Okay.
Well, who's your
compromise.
4?
Kaylin.
I just stuck her in the middle. I stick Blake if. I'm sorry. My 4 is Mike.
Mike. What?
Who's Mike got? Sydney. Vaguely.
Yeah, and so you have to put them in the dead middle because they're just worthless, but they're not.
They're
Sydney
there.
I put in the
They're
middle because
there.
at least she's getting edited in. Mike, where the heck's he been?
Well, he's boring. He's always been boring, and that's why
Yeah, but he's so silly.
his silliness
Remember how
is not on
silly
display
he
with
is?
Sydney.
I know they're not displaying it at all.
There's no silly.
I don't think he's done anything to warrant bottom 5.
I don't think he's
I think
done
he's in the
either.
middle
I
just-
think the fact that he's done nothing warrants bottom 5.
That's not his fault. That's the editor's fault.
Well, it's what's his deal with Sydney? Are they in a relationship? Are they getting
I don't
friendship
know.
roses?
That's not his fault that they're not getting shown.
Which I got a bone to pick here.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Friendship roses.
We'll get to that.
Or coming up to them,
Trust
I'm
me.
sure. Well, then who's your 4?
Kaylin.
Why?
She had a rough one.
I have Kaylin way higher. I don't accept that at all.
She got
Who's your 4?
My 4 is Connors, so I was happy.
she
with
got
him at
creamed
5.
by Deem on her birthday. Just
That was
absolutely
brutal, but then she
creamed.
found Connors.
Yeah, but
and then
that's-
she cried for like a day, and then immediately heel turned when she saw. I just didn't buy any of it. I didn't like it. I thought it was bottom 5 behavior.
I mean, she did flip a light switch, which
Yeah.
is funny because Clay said you can't do that. And
Yeah.
Kaylin literally was like crying about Dean and then turned around. Who, by the way,
But isn't that the point of paradise?
not according to John Paul Jones.
I guess not.
Like 100% not according to John Paul Jones, who may face the wrath of the Bach Boys tonight.
Maybe.
That's coming up on the
The
Bach
Bach
Boys. Well, then who's your 3? I feel like we gotta
I'll give you my
these
3.
out here and
You
then
ready?
see if we can
Yeah.
spitball.
My 3 is Tasha.
Same.
I think Tasha is a little
Same.
stir the pot girl,
Yep.
and she's inciting bad things, and then crying about when she's like fought over, and she's breaking down my man JPJ, and I don't like
Clay
it.
and
Well, I wouldn't attribute John Paul Jones' meltdown to like Tasha's behavior.
Well, you're right. I won't, but
it's technically Derek's behavior that he's mad at, but I don't.
fair. But my point remains the same. I still think she's just as bad, even if I throw that out the window.
No, you guys are just
The
mad
meddling.
that she threw
The meddling.
Clay under the bus.
I
Clay
am.
and Nicole.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
That was
That's
messed up.
super
Yeah.
whack.
when
I agree.
she was like, "Oh, Clay chose Angela over Nicole." It's like, yo, Tasha,
He didn't
Nicole
pick who
wasn't
got
at-
invited.
That should be she should be number 4. She's terrible.
but her paradise stock is high. 2 guys are literally screaming at each other over
It's a
her.
weekly performance.
Also,
She had
weekly
a-
performance.
hold on.
This week
Poor-
she's doing good.
she had
The
a
guys
poor
that are
weekly
screaming
performance.
How
for
are we still on opposite ends?
Hold on.
What?
The guys who are screaming for her are Derek Peth and an insane JPJ.
JPJ is the hero we always
JPJ's
needed.
stock does not count in his relationship with Tasha right now because she's not feeling it and he looks bad. If she was feeling it, or like if he didn't look bad and she wasn't feeling it, it'd be all good.
Well, I got Derek at the next slot.
I think Derek's terrible. Pitch it to me.
Yeah, I do too, but I didn't have him in my
I
bottom
didn't have him
5.
down there, but I'm interested.
I mean, he's just getting like exposed. Like I agree with John Paul Jones that it's like you think it's the point of paradise, but I'm on the side of John Paul Jones. I don't think the point of paradise is just to pretend to fall in love with someone for like 2 weeks.
It's to pretend to fall in love with them for years.
Tasha came on
Exactly.
to Tasha was
like
like
Chris and
coming on to
Krystal.
him super hard, and he was like, "I'm a free agent. I got dumped."
Yeah, but like
The thing I didn't buy from him was like, "Did anybody know that JPJ was into Tasha? I had no
Well, that's
idea."
what I'm
And everybody
saying.
else was like, "Yes."
yeah, I mean,
I think he's
something's
kind of
off
a fraud,
with this
but,
guy.
like,
I think what I don't like about Derek is that I just feel like he's so passive, and for some reason, maybe this is just a personal vendetta. I feel like the world throws themselves at Derek, like everyone thinks Derek's like so dreamy and like cool and like put
he's
together,
just
and
shitty
it's like
Jim from The Office.
he is that expletive Jim from The Office that I'm going to censor. This is the second one of those words that I've had to censor.
We all get
tonight.
one tonight.
Well, dude, that's
I'm
the
saving mine for later.
that's the weird thing about him is he's just like he's only a bigger man in comparison to these like really tiny men who come on this show and are just so.
The bar is so low.
It's so low, and he looks put together to all of these like crazy women also on this show. But that does not excuse that he's
And
a terrible
crazy
person in the
dudes.
scope of real
They're
life.
all crazy.
And like newsflash, like the dude doesn't have his life together. Like he was on this fucking.
There
That's
it
mine. He was, well, I blew my load early on that one. I blew myself.
Just like Kalen.
He's on this Chuckin' show.
That's true. He's been on this Chuckin' show literally a year ago and got engaged, and then it fell apart
And came
and
right
now
back.
He's crawling back. It's like, hello.
Yeah,
I want to say, well, I don't really remember her name.
Tamoka,
What?
his fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
at
Tamoka?
Tamoka.
That's her IG.
Oh.
At
Taylor?
Tamoka's the worst.
Yeah, Taylor.
I
She's
feel like
garbage.
I feel like she didn't say very nice things about him later on. I don't know.
Did she write a tell-all like Dorfman?
One of the most gripping novels I've
Maga
never read.
Dorfman. You see Maga Dorfman? She was caught wearing a Maga hat.
Yeah, they like all like
Not surprising.
Yeah.
they're all MAGA.
Anyways.
Bachelor Nation was always
All right,
great,
how about this?
so we
4
don't need to make it great again.
Oh. 4 Derek, 3 Tasha.
For Derek.
I'd give that
Yeah?
Okay, fine, but who's 5?
Connors.
Slash Haley.
I'm
We
only
talked
giving
about
it because
this.
I'm outvoted.
We said Connors / Haley.
You're right.
You jerk. We
No.
included you.
We're breaking rules tonight.
Fine, rules are meant to be broken. It's a tie. It's a tie, Batch
And
Boys
you're
Nation.
you're gonna like though who
All
I
right.
have
Batch
next.
Boys Nation, if you have a problem with this rule breaking, you
We,
slide into our
We're going
DMs.
to do the 5 through 3 at the top,
Fine.
then
fine.
return to the bottom.
Hold
I'll
on,
just
I'm
say this,
guys. We have to. No, I'll say this.
No, I'll listen.
I'm gonna say. No, you listen, Derek.
Okay,
hey,
cool.
Casey, do not insult my intelligence, Casey. We might take a lot of heat from Batch Boys Nation for the kinds of stunts we're pulling tonight. Okay, I want you to be aware. Like, we could see a drop off of thousands next week. Who knows? We could drive them
I
away
can
in
only
troves.
count in thousands.
Yeah,
That's
so,
all I know how to do.
And we round down, so it might not be that many, but you never know.
What's your point?
That we're breaking rules tonight.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
we are.
Scary.
That's right.
It's
It's
exciting,
awesome.
but it's also scary.
What was,
It's
what was
true
your
to the
point?
Bachelor format.
Well, yeah, I think it's some rule breaking.
Well,
What do you
I
wanna
was
do
just
here?
gonna say to Ryan S that there's something very exciting coming up in the show, which is my take in the bottom. He's gonna love this show. Is gonna love. I got a great take. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
But let's move on. Let's move on. We'll come back to
So
it. It's
Connors
Anybody got-
Haley tie,
Yes.
followed by Tasha,
No, Derek.
Derek then
Then
Tasha.
then
Tasha.
Tasha,
Yeah.
Yep.
because you think Tasha.
She's meddling and terrible.
Yeah, at least Derek
All
was
right.
minding his own business, but he still get wrapped up.
I have an honorable mention for tops.
Yeah, well, so now
It's
we
kind of a
switch
hot
to the
take.
tops, right?
Yeah.
So
5
we
through
got to
3.
do 5 through 3 top. Batch Boys Nation, we're pivoting to the best of the best here, the best of paradise. Who's your number 5?
Bukowski.
I got Bukowski a 4.
Bukowski's also my 5.
Nice.
Very nice.
Well, wait. Can
Very
I give you a
consistent.
compelling argument
For 4?
for 5?
Yeah.
My compelling argument is I have 4 better.
I
love Chris. I have nothing bad to say about him. He's doing great.
Who's your 5?
I think it's Katie. I think
Katie's my 4.
So I think we found something here
I'm okay with that.
because listen,
They both
despite
won.
all odds,
Yeah.
they are finding love. They've got a developing relationship that seemingly tested the waters of Cab Sav. How did it survive that?
I don't know. She's
Good waters.
a fox.
She is
Unanimously agreed upon good waters.
10 out of 10 good waters.
Internationally good waters.
Buxom waters.
I think Katie put herself out there, really.
Yeah, like somehow.
Yeah, that's why I think she's over Chris.
I'll give it to you. I will say something that you guys are going to hate and poo-poo on, but
Yeah,
I had
poo-poo on you,
Kaylin
Ryan.
at 4.
Ew, get out of here.
Yeah.
No.
I did.
I just had her in the middle. I think she balanced out. She had a bad birthday, but a good, she's taking
I think
Connors
she's a
now.
bad person who's doing well at Paradise.
I just think she's a bad person, and that overshadows. Like, I don't think she's dated more people than anyone there, I think.
Did we do a quick 1-2 knockout punch of the 5 and the 4?
Yeah, do you put Katie above Bukowski?
That's my vote.
Katie put herself out there.
That's why.
Yeah, and also because Bukowski lowered himself by like having this weird like thing with Jen where he like
I think it makes no
he
sense.
like seemed to be interested in her and then bailed on her and went back to Katie, and it just looks like a dog with his tail between his legs a little bit.
But
which isn't a terrible thing, but it downgrades him.
No, but I think that he got exactly what he asked for, which was like he wanted someone to like go nuts and cut her arms off over him or whatever the heck he said.
Bleed all over, cut his arms off and hemorrhage all over him.
Just
want
a flesh wound.
He just wants to see somebody die out in front of him right before his eyes for love, and he got that.
I want to hit you guys with my number 3.
I feel like we're all pretty similar on this.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I got a pretty hot take at 3.
My number 3, Christian.
I don't
Demi's
agree.
girl.
Oh,
Demi's girl. And here's why. Because she's been totally truthful, totally like willing to stand by her convictions, and is like falling in love in paradise. And I know she was like shoehorned into this like in a weird way, but like, and it hasn't been flawless coverage by ABC.
Doesn't want to be
but
there.
I don't know. I like really like her.
Dude,
She's
all
a rock
she's
star.
done is
Cool,
be
but-
super jealous and like uncomfortable. Like I would not consider her having one of the top 5 weeks in paradise.
I don't think
I liked what she did.
she seems cool, but she doesn't seem like
It's the
TV
wrong reasons.
TV
I think
type.
she's there for all the right reasons, and that she's there for nothing but love.
Here's the thing. Demi was ranked really, really low
for
last
wrong
week
reasons. Yeah,
exclusively because she's not here for the right reasons.
but Christian wasn't ranked there because she didn't do what Demi did.
No, Christian was
Yeah.
just with the rest of them. As
Yeah.
far as listen, love knows no. What did Chris Harrison say? He said it well. It takes many forms, right?
Sure.
So, obviously we're allies, we're supportive, but I am not supportive of anyone breaking the right reasons, okay? And she had a girlfriend back home, and she brought her out.
And
So
that's why we
fair.
punished her with a bottom 5 finish.
Last week. Makes sense.
Yeah.
This week, Demi is
knows?
queen of paradise
Yeah.
again, baby. She had a great week. She's got the one-liners. She's got the drama, but not like, she's not like really a part of the drama, but she's like kind of the life coach guru. That's why I
agree.
put her
She's in my top 5.
at number 3,
Okay.
personally.
Wow. Okay.
Listen, everything can change
That's
in a
low
week.
for me, but okay.
Low for you.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 is interesting.
I think it's getting really hard.
Yeah.
Because, we're reaching pretty close to the number 1 slot here.
My number 3.
Well,
You want to hear it? It's Angela.
What?
Oh, God.
Why?
Angela.
She was killing it at the wedding.
What part was she killing it? Just
She
the more
spoke
good?
her mind to Clay, who did her dirty. She looked great, and then she showed up on the beach. Alpha moves all the way around, number 3.
She's not even on the show yet.
Yes,
Well,
she is.
she is. She walked
yes,
on
she
right at
is,
the
and
end.
that's when I decided to put her there because she walked on. Yep.
It's such a bold, rule-breaking call. I, love
I
it
know.
so
Yeah,
much.
I don't like
I
that.
loved it. I felt so good about it.
Well, it's going to change a lot. I'm really stressing about this, right? Because we're approaching number 1.
How about we just go back? Let's just.
No. I need to talk about this.
Okay. I got scared. I just wanted. Let's just go to the bottom. That's easier. I
John
hate,
Paul
I hate more
Jones.
people than I like.
Has been consistently our number 1, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I had a terrible week.
He did.
We're getting to the top. I think Bach Boys Nation expects a certain amount of consistency from us,
And
but I can't.
We are by no means Derek fans. We've expressed this.
I'm not a Derek fan, but I'm a fan of controlling yourself in public, dude. At a wedding.
At a wedding.
Are you
Rough.
serious? And like, was he drunk or something? He
must have
seemed
been.
like
I mean,
so focused on it.
He had a good first day. Monday. He
Yeah.
had 2 dates. Was a goofball.
But he's all hung up on Tasha, and he's totally disregarding Haley.
Yeah,
now
but
and
even
her
if the
feelings.
wedding's a white trash bash, you can't really just
No,
interrupt.
we're
it
all
like
in
that.
agreement.
Yeah.
This is not appropriate behavior.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing you could possibly do at a wedding is just like have a fight about a problem of your own.
Yep.
Publicly,
I'd say
loudly.
proposing at a wedding is worse.
Yeah, because it's more extreme. I guess like
Yeah.
killing somebody at a wedding is worse than all
True.
of that. Like shooting Antonika. Like that's not gonna work well.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Shooting Ben Higgins at the wedding.
Great to see Ben Higgins. Great airtime for Ben Higgins. But it got overshadowed by a guy that we used to really love and trust and respect. Getting so sidetracked on useless drama.
Yeah, it was beneath The Office, I think.
No, it was I don't know, it's hard to watch, and I just don't. They got a goofy edit all week too. I felt like usually
I don't think Tasha's expressed enough mutual interest and commitment that any of these actions are justified.
No, he took it too far.
If we thought Dylan with Hannah is acting, kind of one-sided, I mean, JPJ, come on.
No, it's aggressive. It's unnecessary, and ABC doesn't seem on their side. The editors don't seem on his side because they're not portraying him as charming. They're portraying him as like creepy and weird, and so for that reason, like, we're close enough that I think we all agree I can't put John Paul Jones at number 1 anymore.
No, I agree.
It's tough because we literally have a page on our website dedicated to the guy and how he's number 1.
That being said,
so I think it's pretty clear where we have to put him. We're talking about the bottom right now, of course.
Should we put him at number 2 overall?
Absolutely.
Okay,
number
cool.
2 overall, top 2, John Paul Jones. Our hero, the hero we always deserved. And sure, he makes some missteps. What hero doesn't,
I'm uncomfortable with your tone. Very uncomfortable with it.
The night is always darkest before the dawn.
Exactly. And John Paul Jones was born in the darkness.
This is his dark night.
He's about to rise.
Yeah.
Tasha or Haley, someone's his Catwoman. I mean, the whole thing, the pieces are in place.
We're ready for an explosive finale.
I know that, like, we say it's week to week, but John Paul Jones transcends weeks. Like, John Paul Jones always was and always will be. So, yes, does he have to get knocked down? But why knock him so low if he's probably going to go back up to number 1 next week?
Agreed.
We're all in agreement.
Zero flaws in this logic.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
We're going to get a copyright strike. Stop.
Oh, that's so
Stop.
true. We can't afford another cease and desist.
Who's our number 3 then?
I don't know. It was worth it for the bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, that's just stats, baby.
Who'd you guys have? You had
I had Christian.
And you had
Demi. So can they be
And
a tie too?
and
No,
I
'cause
had
Demi's my freaking number 1, man.
Same.
Demi is Queen of Paradise. I don't understand you guys.
I have Demi at number
No.
1.
Demi is number 1.
Do you know who my number 1 is?
Let's just get them all out of the way and then return to the bottom at the end.
You'll never guess. My number 1,
Okay.
against all odds, is Dylan, baby. I hate the guy. I think he's one of the worst in Paradise to ever be on Bachelor Nation. But is he winning Paradise? Absolutely.
Let's do it. I'm good with it.
I'm not
I'm
good.
cool
I am
with
not
it.
at all good with
He
it.
got the girl. He's in a
I'm
serious
so okay with
relationship.
this.
He's saying all the buzzwords at the wedding, talking about the true love story. Dylan's got this in the bag.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
too good.
You wanna know
This
where
is
I have
too
Dylan?
Juicy.
Do you have him in your bottom?
I have Dylan as second from the bottom.
Oh,
You're
he's not
wrong.
in either of my
The
lists.
stats don't show it.
I think Dylan is the worst now. I hate Dylan.
The thing about it is they didn't show him being so terrible, and it gave me kind of a chance to like look at it objectively. Like, he got the girl, like whether or not she looks completely
He didn't get
uncomfortable.
the girl. He has the girl. It's like
Exactly.
halfway through Paradise. Paradise doesn't even mean forever. I mean, just look at Chris and Krystal.
What do you mean paradise doesn't mean forever?
I mean, look at Chris
Feels
and
like
Krystal.
forever.
Yeah.
Let me just throw that again at you. Look at Chris and Krystal.
That's forever,
Do
baby.
you think that they will be together in 6 months? Because
Yes.
I don't.
They've been
Yes.
together a year.
Yes. You get Matt Matthewson to play at your wedding. It's for real.
It seems like Paradise couples just do tend to go the distance. There's yet to be a split
I feel like
from an engagement.
Yeah, and what the
all of
longest
the
one is like
franchises
3
except
years.
for The Bachelor have a decent success rate.
The thing about Dylan is the stats are on his side, man. He's in the relationship.
Dude,
I think
Note that Hannah does not
this
rank as
heel
high.
this heel
Here's my
turn
thought.
is so juicy that I'm here for it.
here's my thought. I think if you will concede to putting Dylan at 3, he cannot be 1 for me. There's no way I'm not
Dylan
cool with
3,
it.
Demi 1.
Demi is way ahead of him.
Here's
I
the thing.
I have Demi at 1. He has Demi at 1.
You
Demi
yeah,
at
you have
3.
Dylan.
And John Paul Jones is non-negotiable. He's 2.
Yeah,
he
he's
can't
2.
sink any
No,
lower for all of our
absolutely
sakes, for
not.
Batch Boys Nation's sake, because it's just going to
That's
come back
just
around.
absurd.
So, I mean, unless something horrible happens with Derek, but even still, you got to give him the benefit
Honestly,
of
he
the
might
doubt.
go to 1 if he murders Derek.
If dude, a crime of passion.
What if he shows up wearing that Chad Stuff shirt?
What if he shows up,
Derek
wearing
flaying
Derek's
himself.
skin?
Yeah. Ooh, a little Midsommar.
It would be. Ooh, yes. Check out our recap podcast of the Rotten Tomatoes review of Midsommar.
We have a podcast about a Rotten Tomatoes review.
Just one Rotten Tomatoes review that we picked out and discussed.
Yeah, it's a 10-part podcast.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours per episode. So it's 30
one
hours of
episode per
listening.
paragraph.
Yeah, so we really expound on the details you needed to know about that review you did not read for a movie you may or may not have seen.
But yeah, so Dylan at 3.
Fine.
All right. Dylan at 3.
I'll
Demi
concede.
at
I don't
1.
like him that much.
I mistyped it as Doolin.
And
Doolin the
and
doula.
Demi, Queen of Paradise, sits at 1.
I'm
With
cool
Christian
it.
at 1A.
Okay, so fine. So
Signed.
that's a tag team.
Signed a deal. Deal signed.
Honestly, logistically, they won. Neither of them have to go home for the rest of the time. They're just going to give each other roses every time, and they won. They won.
Yes.
It's over.
She's the first winner of Paradise
Yeah.
in the history of winner of the Paradise.
She won
We
Paradise.
we tag Demi with Christian though. Feels.
It's like Demi parentheses Christian.
I'm not trying to
It's
take away
Demi's
agency from
point.
Christian because I would like to still note that I think Christian is in one of the most consistently bad moods of anyone in Paradise. She seems like she's having a really lousy time.
But I also think they will never show her out of any context that isn't Demi. So I
Yeah.
don't think she's ever going to have her own agency, whether that's her fault or not. I don't think they're going to show her
I think she's very
as
talented
her
and
own
could have an
character
agent
whatsoever.
this year.
She is good on camera.
Wait until you see her
I
Insta bio.
wholeheartedly disagree.
She seems uncomfortable on camera, but she gets it out.
She's my 1A.
All right,
check the
whatever.
website. We'll see what
You'll
we decide.
see where we land on this.
Demi's
this is going
there.
to
So
be a
let's
game
go
time
to
decision.
the bottom.
All right,
guys.
so that top 5: Demi, Christian, followed by JPJ.
What?
May he rest in peace.
yeah, Demi Christian.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Dylan at 3, Katie at 4, and Bukowski at 5.
Yeah.
Cute. That's cute.
I
why
like
not?
It. I like it.
And bottom 5, we just got to get the final 2. I think we all agree.
I think
The
it's
bottom
I
2
don't know,
in no
'cause
particular
my
order.
number
I got-
2
oh,
was
yeah.
Dylan, so let's hear your 2.
my number 2 is Blake.
Blake, yeah.
Oh, I forgot Blake. Absolutely,
Blake.
it's Blake.
And
Blake
my number
is-
1 is pretty obvious, too.
1, 2, 3.
Christina.
God, how low they sink. If we had done Bachelor Report, whatever we call it, power rankings,
Season rankings,
Well,
she would have been high.
super
Dude.
high. And last season, she would have been like the number 1 or whatever her season was.
I just love how they both have sunk so low in their own way. Blake is
They
this.
were franchise favorites. Blake was a runner-up that everybody thought should have won over racist Garrett.
And now Blake is a shell of a man holding himself
he can
together
barely
in
speak
pieces,
sentences now.
ready to cry at any moment. And Christina is this brash, ignorant, basic clown of a human being who just
Yeah.
cannot speak
Jake-
for herself
as we
and
said-
just she's so misguided in everything she thinks about how people should behave.
She's the
so
first
backwards.
producer-piloted contestant fully. They have every control.
Well, yeah, she's and both of them.
She's
are,
a fembot. I
Yeah.
said this during
Piloted
the show.
by the producers.
all they do is talk about freaking friendship roses, wrong
Yeah.
reasons. They have pre-existing relationships on and off camera, wrong reasons.
They have a Wrong Reasons Survivor Alliance, and that's not this show.
Totally, and that's become like a common theme this season. I hate it. It's getting in the way of people like the hero Dylan, who I didn't choose, but he found me, and he's worked his way up to number 3 from negative 25 for me. I hate that guy, but God damn it, do I respect him. No, but I don't know. Christina, all she seems interested in is starting drama. She broke up the thing with Blake and Caitlyn, which honestly, they made a pretty good match. That's kind of a shame.
Yeah.
I don't get why he picked Christina.
Shallow.
Shallow.
Or guilt. It's not
No,
like
he's
he's
shallow.
shitting on, but he was not trying to get with her.
I
If
think
I
he
was
is.
him-
I think he's
if
trying
I
to
was
get with
him-
everyone.
If I was him, I would have just picked Jen and said, peace to both you guys.
Yeah.
But I'm way smarter than Blake.
I would have
and can
picked
speak in
Haley
full
Ferguson.
sentences without having a seizure.
I'm like the nicest guy ever. I have no drama.
Ah,
Why is
I
this
hate drama.
happening to me?
I never have any drama. I met her at Stagecoach. I didn't
at
meet
this
him at
wedding.
Stagecoach. No. I know.
I like how people at the wedding that have nothing to do with the drama were crapping on him about Stagecoach.
Yeah, he's just getting beat left and right. And, for a while, people were rooting for him to get a break. And now it's just come on, man.
Yeah, he got a bad rap, I think, at the beginning of the season, but now it's just oh.
I think he just got a
Astrid-
rap.
Astrid Locke told him he's bleep, whatever I think she said.
Yeah.
Chucked.
Yeah, she's like, you are terrible. This is
Like,
over for you. You go
home. Go home.
It's
Honorable
over.
mention for me for top 5. Dean, man, really turned it around. I'm not gonna lie, like
So far.
Well,
why
so-
is he now? He's coming back.
he's coming back. We'll see
Seemingly.
what he does.
I also just think his like fake like transient lifestyle like thing is so I hate it.
It is a cop out. Like
I mean, he clearly doesn't want a committed relationship, but at least
Wrong
he's
reasons.
yeah. Oh,
which
wrong
is
reasons.
messed up.
But at least he's very honest about
No,
it.
he's not honest about it.
He's literally
He
like, I
has
don't.
every
no,
step of the
he's
way.
created this identity that allows him to be honest. He is honest, but it's like BS. It's
Through a
BS.
filter.
Yeah, it's honesty via this persona that he's encumbered.
Well, he
That
created
makes
a
the
life.
answers easy.
Yeah, he's like, look, I'm like this way, and like I need to be free, and like I don't think that'll work for you.
And he's talked about it how only it will be like 9 months or something like that. It's like not even a full year, but
He's
created
just using it. Yeah.
He created a life.
I like that take.
That fuels, that justifies his pre-existing problematic
Right.
viewpoints.
Relationship.
Yeah,
Shits
he
of women,
crafted
yeah.
an answer to the problem he had. It's like an alcoholic being like no, like I have to drink. It's medical. Like this is what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna get off it because it's medical.
Yeah, he's like, I can't be in a relationship. I'm in a van on the road all the time. And they're like, you're in a van on the road all the time because you don't want to be in a relationship because you don't want any accountability for any of your actions. Fine, he's down to the bottom. Thank you for reminding me why I hate Dean. Damn you, Dean. He's always charming me with his good looks, and I get distracted, and I fall in love with him every time. Ugh.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, he's an alcoholic.
And I'm the alcoholic, and Dean is my drink of choice. He's a tall glass of vodka to me.
Tall glass of vodka, yeah.
I don't know.
That's the one.
Whiskey?
Tall glass.
water.
That's like the most shocking drink I've ever heard.
Yeah, we should go to the bar this weekend and order a tall glass of vodka.
Excuse me.
Can I get a vodka on the rocks, hold the ice, and put it in a tall boy, please?
I'd like a double vodka.
I'd like
no
a big-
soda.
I'd like a
hold
big
the water.
gulp.
Hold the ice. Just the vodka. 2 cups.
Dirty martini, please. None of that gross olive juice, and make it in a tall glass with a lot of vodka and nothing else. Thanks.
Actually, I'm just gonna go grab a big gulp from 7-Eleven and fill it up
I was
myself.
just gonna say the same thing.
Wow, cool.
That's awesome.
We've been on for so many years. It was so great.
10
that
years.
a decade, as
Yeah.
our centennial, our 10th decade.
I didn't have these gross crow's feet 10 years ago.
Man, I remember 10 years ago, I didn't even know you guys. Some Hollywood producer was like, I'm putting together a podcast.
I'm putting together a squad.
An A
It's
team.
like, what are we, some kind of batch boys?
He was like, yeah, oh, I love that. Yeah, that was, and there was another guy. Remember there was a 5th guy?
Well, there were 2 more. There was Hobbs and Shaw, and then they split off and did their own thing.
Yeah, well, we never needed
One
them.
of our gang.
Yeah.
There was someone else though.
There was Jake C., but he's just a working boy. He's
He's
coming
doing
back.
a spin-off. He's coming back. He'll be in the grand picture once again.
Well, actually, yeah, he's working on the Battle for Fahim. He's sort of like our man behind the computer.
He's Jake's our Hobbs and
Mhm.
Daniel's our Paul Walker.
Jeez.
In that he sped off
Into
to
the sunset to
oh,
take care of his family.
Yeah, in Singapore, because he's our live producer in Singapore also. That's canon. That's one of the last
Yeah.
things Ryan Johnson wrote before he died.
And he's a big Charlie Puth fan.
At some point, I'm gonna believe that Ryan Johnson is died because of you guys.
Prove us wrong, Batch Boys Nation. If you can verify that Ryan Johnson is out there making films and lied to us, like, we will make a post.
I took his pulse.
Yeah, we cried over him, like, we prayed over him, like
We
Luke.
put him in the ground.
We buried someone.
Who did we bury?
We buried
Ryan Johnson
For sure.
Unless the Batch Boys Nation can send us concrete proof via Instagram or Facebook.
Ryan Johnson he has like really blonde hair, right? The guy we buried. That was Ryan Johnson.
All I'll
Like
say is
really
this.
long.
Really
No,
handsome,
guys,
loves cars.
guys, we're getting in our head. We buried Ryan Johnson. He died in our arms. And the Batch Boys Nation will send us evidence to prove it if we're wrong. So Batch Boys Nation, please, if you can confirm that Ryan Johnson is out there alive, let us know because it'll shape next week's episode for sure.
There will be a police investigation for sure.
I mean, Dawn Dish Soap is going to have something to say about this because of all that, we worked a lot between Ryan and Dawn. And speaking of, we're still sponsored by Dawn. They just asked us to talk about them less.
Yeah. We need to scrub some emails about like the decomposing properties of Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
they doesn't do good job. Does bad job.
I mean, they wrote it to us. They were like, burn his body with Dawn.
We use it on seagulls and oil accidents all the time. We burn their bodies alive with Dawn.
That's what they're doing in those
It's
pictures.
way easier to clean them up.
When you see those videos of volunteers putting Dawn on like oil-covered
They're
pigeons,
killing them.
Yeah, they're just putting them out of their
euthanizing
misery
these birds.
with Dawn Dish Soap.
Yeah, what do you think ocean cleanup looks like? It's not cleaning them with a towel and throwing them back. It's get rid of all the
birds
dead
ain't ever
fish.
gonna be the same again.
There's no going back. Not after oil. That's what Daniel always said. R.I.P. Rest in paradise. That's in paradise is Singapore for him, because real paradise is Sayulita, Mexico. Right?
The island of Mexico.
Big
Yeah.
time.
The island of Mexico. Can't wait to see what happens on that water-surrounded nation next week. I'm Ryan S.
I am KCS.
Surprise plugs.
In between Ryan S,
Yeah.
KCS, and then the other guy. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
Plug them.
Plug 'em. Plug us.
Okay.
We have to. It's tradition, as
Yeah.
of course is tradition.
Follow
truly a
us
surprise.
at the Batch Boys
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram.
That's very good.
That's where we fire off those
got one?
dank hot fresh memes.
Mm-hmm.
Hottest.
That's a 2-pointer.
So hot, so fresh.
You can look at our website, see our power rankings in their fullest at batchboys.net.
Oh yeah, check it
Yep.
out.
What is
The
that?
Power
What is that
Rankings.
short for?
Dot Nation.
Okay, good.
You can Google us if you Google the Batch Boys.
Yeah, we went over this last week, but you can Google the Batch Boys. It'll say the Beach Boys, but they generously talked to Google on our behalf and asked if they could recommend us at the bottom under the Beach Boys.
Yeah, that was a very generous partnership with
Yeah.
the Beach Boys. Of course, they also sent all of their real platinum albums to us as well.
Mhm.
We're swimming in platinum albums. It's
Yep.
pretty amazing.
They're gonna play at my wedding. They already agreed.
And Chris Harrison's officiating.
Matt Matthewson can't come, so
Well,
Right.
the Beach Boys are an honorable second.
Yeah.
you can
It's just
listen to
like
us on your
JPJ.
favorite podcast network
Your podcast apps
and
and affiliated applications.
SoundCloud, iPhone. I don't know. We're not on Spotify,
iPhone.
are we?
We're not on Spotify.
Listen
We
to us
should
on
be.
iPhone.
Listen to me on the iPhone.
No Android. Just kidding. You can listen to us on Android.
But you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But lie to us and tell us you listen on an
You
iPhone.
can donate on our website as well. Help us catch Fahim in our worldwide manhunt.
Absolutely. Fahim is
There were
after
fruits,
us.
but they've rotten. They were tomatoes. They're rotten.
The ammonia only gets us so many tomatoes.
There's a critic. He's meta.
Listen, Paul T. at Indigo Plateaus is a massive continuing donor, but he can't support us alone, you guys. We need more money. Bridge Stoops gave us money. Even when we give it to her, she gives it back to us because she knows how much we need it in the fight against Fahim. He wants to sell us BatchBoys.com, and we never wanted it. I never wanted it. Did you want a case?
Not once.
Did you want it?
I thought about it, but no, I don't.
No. .BatchBoysNation, which is net, is a better domain. We know it. You know it. I know it.
How you spell nation?
And
And I'm Alex F.
that was a good surprise plug. It was a
Yeah.
true surprise plug.
Very surprising.
I'm so surprised. I got to stop talking.
Good night.